Good morning.
Good morning.
Life's changed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, a lot of bit. Quite a lot of bit. I had a...
You want to go into that, or you want to rip this and then go into it?
Let's rip, and then we'll go into it.
All right.
Oh, gosh. What color am I?
You're green. Tell me when it's open.
It's open.
I haven't read it. Ready?
Yep.
Chinchillas.
Gray water.
Neil Tyson deGrasse.
What happened to hobos?
Where is the Tiger King?
Internal Revenue Service.
Learning is good.
I ain't never gonna stop.
Turn and burn.
Read slow.
Dream fast.
Diapers.
Middle East peace.
2026.
Fire in the sky.
Minecraft.
Salt and pepper.
Katy Perry.
Body count.
Hillary Clinton.
East Coast versus West Coast battle.
North versus South.
Who you got?
This is Brothers McGowan.
You like how I ended on
Katy Perry.
Yeah, dude, I couldn't do it.
That's funny. Salt and pepper. Minecraft's a big topic right now. Is that a big topic in your house right now?
Yeah, I took the girls to go see it.
Was it funny?
I was working on my phone the whole time, but I just bought it at home too.
Oh, okay.
And there's some funny stuff in there, but yeah, I was on my phone quite a bit. But yeah, there's good stuff in there.
You saw
Jason Momoa is pretty funny in that. He's like he looks all 80s and he has like lady bangs and
yeah, I saw that.
It's pretty funny. It's good.
So you saw it in the theaters and at home?
Yeah, I mean, I was sitting in the theater and I was probably 50% engaged.
Good dad move.
Yeah.
Speaking.
Sometimes you got to do that. Okay, so let me lead that. Let's see. Hold on
rip
a sec
it.
here.
We got some new decor
what?
in the room. Feeling a little bit better in here. Not quite done yet.
So what's changed? Oh yeah,
We do have some decorations.
we do have some decorations now.
Got some fancy lighting.
Step one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we do. I forgot. We have new shelves, new lighting,
Mm-hmm.
a lot more photographs.
Way more. It's way better. It already feels cozy in here.
We have more art. There's art on the walls.
Mm-hmm.
It all means something, and if anyone can solve that riddle, drop it in the comments, and we'll send you a free cup.
Nice. Ooh, we should make Brothers McGowan cups.
We definitely should. I have some ideas for that.
Yeah, we could totally do that with
Yeah.
shout out May Innovations.
Yeah, we
She's
could do
been
that.
pretty cool.
They're very cool. They do a lot of good stuff. All right, so you're a papa now.
I am a papa guy.
So we got art on the walls. That's really important.
Yeah.
And you're now with child.
I am. I'm with child. It was just mother was bearing child. Now mama and papa are with child.
Now papa does papa stuff. All right, so are you going shades the whole time?
I'll pop them off.
I feel like I should probably take those off.
Yeah.
So I want to get more serious with this whole thing and not just rant, because we do have a lot to say. We do have a lot of information we can provide to people that are in a different position, wanting to be in a similar position. So here's a question for you. Who are you and why are you qualified to talk about anything?
Just right now live?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I am Tristynn, and I'm 22, going to be 23 in June. Not that that matters.
It does.
I guess it does. Yeah, it does. I own a business, small business, franchise marketing company. We have about 11 people on our staff. We work with about 65 different clients right now. And I did that right out of high school and dropped out of college to pursue it. And it's gone pretty decent so far, pretty well. I'm super stoked with it, but we're nowhere near where I want to be. And other than that, I mean, I guess I'm also now a dad at a young age. I'm trying to think of other things that add to my depth. But I think I just have a unique experience of starting the business young and sticking through it, because I think most people that start businesses at this age give up real soon if they don't see results. And I've never once thought about giving up or giving in, but I think that's me on surface level. I can talk about some goals, but yeah, I mean, my whole life is just work and family right now.
Yeah. So the age gap is relevant because that kind of plays into the dynamic of this podcast and the group of people that may get value from it. So I am about to turn 40 Ouch. Haven't said that out loud.
In a few days, right?
Oh, shoot. Yes. What
Isn't
are we
it
at right now?
Wasn't it on the 21st?
It's on the 21st.
Yeah, dude.
What's that,
Coming
3
up.
days?
Yeah.
Dang, I didn't even realize
Yeah.
that. So there's a 17-year age gap.
Wait. It's about to be 18.
What?
I'm just kidding. It's going to be 18 just for like 4 weeks.
So
Mine's next month.
if you haven't guessed, I'm his older brother. Why that's relevant? I'm self-employed. I'm a general contractor. I've been in business since I don't even know where you start the clock. Out of high school, but officially 2013
Yeah.
is the corporation was formed, I believe.
Well, I think you can still be in business and not. But yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I started. Our dad was a general contractor.
When did you? I could have my timelines wrong. When did you start? Was it A&M maintenance?
That was my first official on paper business. So
Yeah.
I in high school I would work with dad, and then do little side jobs for people here and there, paint stuff, demo stuff, hang shelves, dumb stuff like that. And then right out of high school, I was just working with him, doing everything, learning everything. And then after a while, I thought, well, I could just do this myself and probably make more money. So I started doing that. And yes, I started, it was A&M maintenance, because that was the quickest thing you could do, is just get a business license. Boom, you're official. And then that led to, it was a lot more than handyman stuff. That was just like a way to make it official. I'm in business.
Yeah.
There's a name, there's a card, whatever. And I was doing kitchen remodels, bathroom remodels, and it just escalated more and more and more. And then I always wanted to get into commercial construction, and it took a very long time to do that. But fast forward, we do well.
Yeah.
Big business, doing well, trying to grow, am growing. And that's relevant because I am 17 years ahead of you in business. I'm married. I have kids. You're married. You now have a kid. You have a business. So we have
some parallels.
I don't. What generation are you, and what am I? I don't even know what that is.
I believe I'm Gen Z, but like 99% sure.
And
yeah,
I'm
definitely Gen Z.
A millennial.
I think you might actually dodge the millennial. Let's do a quick search. Let's find that out real quick.
While you're doing that, but the point is, these are two self-employed people from the same family at wildly different times, huge age gap, both self-employed, both going through different,
Yeah, you're a millennial.
I'm a millennial, okay.
So because you're 40, what year you're born in?
85.
85. Okay, I thought it was 84. Yeah, you're a millennial, and I am Gen Z confirmed.
So when I was in high school, cell phones were kind of a thing, but not for everybody. I had pagers in junior high. There was no computers, no laptops. The iPod Touch wasn't even out. iPod wasn't even out. Apple computers were still these big, giant, colorful things.
That's why desks were so deep, because the monitors were just massive.
So no social media, no marketing. Everything was like boots on the ground. When I was with A&M maintenance, I spent like every dollar I had to go make flyers, and I literally would go walk around handing those out. What I'm getting at is it's two wildly different generations and sets of tools and things you could use, yet we're both doing the same thing at different times. So there's different struggles. Things are faster now, harder now, better now in different ways. So we have a good grasp on being self-employed at two separate times in similar situations.
Definitely, I would agree.
I think there's going to be value to that we need to find that we can share. So,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Here's a question for you. You're a papa now. What's your biggest takeaway and lesson or feeling from that? And you're what are you, like a week and a half in?
Yeah,
2 weeks in?
Almost 3 weeks. Yeah, she's only 2.5 weeks old.
Okay.
Patience, because at the tiniest things, like feeding her, like when I was feeding her this morning, it's like, oh, I'll just feed her and leave real quick. But then she just takes her time, and I'm like, come on, there's nothing you can do. You can't tell her to go fast. you can't like, you definitely can't shake the baby. You can't do anything like that.
You could,
but you just have to let her sit there. And I think it's just patience. And I have this feeling of, I'm a pretty patient and easygoing and understanding guy, but this might sound weird. I feel like I'm getting broken down right now in a way and like rebuilding my character, but it's not like she was born and I'm just like a new person. I don't think it's anywhere near that. I think it's over time. And I still don't feel like a dad yet. I know I'm a dad now, but I don't feel like a 100% dad yet. And I can feel every day, like 1% at a time, my priorities
Remember
changing.
I told you,
yeah, it's not instant.
It's not instant for dads. I don't think it is. Obviously, I only have one perspective too, but there was no earth-shattering, life-changing moment.
Definitely, and I thought you were weird for that because when she was born, I felt that. But then the second I think it's just because we were in the moment. You're at the hospital, but then I'll find myself at home or driving or at work or whatever, and I'll be like working late, and then I'm like, oh shit, I have a kid at home.
Yeah.
That when I'm around, I mean, I obviously love her a ton, but when
I think it's a learned.
Yeah,
it's a learned quality, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, when I said in the hospital, when everybody says, "Oh, it's all this, it's all that," like your life changes the moment you see them. I think a part of what I was getting at is maybe it's so intense. I can't really take it all in all at once.
100%.
You know,
that's 100%. Because when the moment she came out, it was like kind of a slow. Not to give all the details, but Morgan was, she pushed for about like 45, or no, it was like 55 minutes. And her poor little head was just stuck in the same spot for like 40 of the minutes, or like 45 of the minutes.
It's the worst.
So it wasn't like this like snap of a finger, she's out. But at the same time, it kind of is, because then it's like she's stuck, and then it just
well, as soon as you
out.
see any part of them at all, it's real. It's like, that's my child.
And not to go on a tangent forever, but the way it happened is Morgan wasn't progressing at all. She wasn't dilated, and then they came in and they were like, you're like between 2 and 3. They were like, we were like, all right, we're gonna hunker down for the night, and she'll probably come the next day, maybe. And they came back in a few hours later after Morgan and I were just like, we had dinner, we're watching movies and just like talking. They checked her and they were like, oh, we're going to get ready to push. And we were like, what the heck?
Did you get a rush of anxiety?
I instantly got some adrenaline. It was like 10 p.m. at night. And essentially she was ready to push the whole time after 10 p.m. And they were waiting for the doctor, and they had to like prep the room and all that. So we're just sitting there, and it was this really surreal moment where it was just me and her. And it was like, she's here. There's no more waiting. It's up to you, as in Morgan. So it was this interesting thing where it's like, oh my God, like it's actually your decision now when she comes. And I had some adrenaline, but I was also super calm still. And like, I was ready. I was locked in, ready. Morgan got so much nerves and like adrenaline. She was sitting there shaking, but like super excited. She wasn't crying or anything. She was like super excited. But yeah, she started pushing her out. And the second you see like the hair on the head, I was like, holy crap, like that thing's right there.
You
it's
get
real.
to meet your human.
Yeah. And I was like touching the head and stuff.
Were you?
Yeah, it was funny. They told me, they're like, do you want to feel her hair? And I was like, sure.
Like while she was stuck?
Yeah.
Breached?
Yeah. And then
interesting.
Morgan was pushing her, but from the drugs. You know how they say women can't really feel the direction to push. So that's the 45 minutes could have been boiled down into 5 minutes. Never pushed baby out. Obviously, I don't know. But if they weren't on...
after Chipotle.
Yeah. If they're not on drugs, they might be able to. But whatever. The OB was like... She was like, do you want to feel your baby? And Morgan was like, yeah. And she like reached down and touched her head like while she was crowning.
Gosh, that's strange.
Super cool, second... Though. Yeah, the second Morgan did that, her eyes lit up. And it was like she instantly knew what to do, and it was the very next push.
Yeah.
Which I have a whole nother story about the song that... Did I tell you that?
No.
Morgan was playing music.
Really?
We'll talk about this after this whole thing. Anyway, but the second she came out, it was like so intense, but also I mentally prepared for it so well, so
Yeah.
that I could just be nothing but happy, that I wasn't like I wasn't like shaking or nervous, because I went into this like, I want to be a dad. And the second she came out, I was just like, I thought I was going to be super nervous. And I was just like super comfortable. And I was like,
I told
that's
you
my
that
child.
part, yeah.
I'm not even like, I know. It just felt
It's pure support. You just want to be. You're
Yep.
like, I'm here. Whatever you need. Whatever you need.
Yeah.
You know what I find
like,
wild about all of that,
crazy.
or strange. For the first one, this is the second one. Wildly different. Mm-hmm. But you have this illusion that there's all this support. Mm-hmm. You've got the hospital and the people and your family.
Yeah.
But the reality is, you are just on your own immediately.
Yeah. Immediately.
You get the support in the moment, but what are
Yeah.
you there for a day or two after? And then they're like, well, all right, go home. You're a family now. And then you get there and it's just you. Yes, people drop by and visit or bring you food or whatever, but like you are parents now.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
100%. And it's
You're
not
on your
even,
own.
It's not even the full 2 days, because you could press the button and have a nurse come in and help you out. The baby comes out. In our instance, they're getting her to breathe. She didn't breathe for like a couple minutes. It was kind of scary, actually. Then they finally got her to breathe. She instantly had a problem with her blood sugar. So the first 2 hours of her life, like, she got to hang out on Morgan and lay on her chest for 45 minutes. And like, Brian and Jessica came and said hi, and her
Did you
parents came and
poop?
said hi. When?
Just now?
No.
Recently?
No. Does it stink?
Keep going. Yeah. I just got like a...
No.
Okay.
No, I swear. Swear on my new baby.
Carry on, my wayward son.
But they took her blood sugar, dude. They had to prick her like you prick an adult.
I hate it.
7 times in
I
her
know.
heel.
Yep.
So her poor feet still have scabs that are just now healing. Anyway.
Those poor little brand new babies.
Yeah.
Right when they come out, they're like, steel wool, all that white stuff off of you. We're going to poke you here. Vaccines, eye drops.
You know what's crazy? Oh, I got to fix this. What's crazy? They're supposed to come out with all that ricotta cheese on them and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
That nasty stuff.
They're purple and they're covered in cottage cheese, yeah.
She came out perfectly clean.
What?
Perfect. I was like, what the heck? I thought they're supposed to come out all nasty.
No heavy cream.
Dude, she had the smallest amount under her armpits.
Like a little just almond milk maybe,
Yeah.
or skim.
She was like she looked like she just took a bath.
Like a movie baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Strange.
Is that a good thing or bad? Because I also know that stuff helps. There's a reason for it. It helps protect them from things whenever.
I don't know what the reason is, but I mean, they're in that batter for however long.
But I thought it was kind of cool. I was like, that's cool. I
That is cool.
thought she was going to come out all nasty.
Was she purple?
She was blue. She wasn't breathing. So she came out purple, like the freaky purple. And then they put her on Morgan's chest and they're like, come on. And she wasn't breathing. And the whole deal was like, we're not going to take her from you. Morgan was like, I don't want her taken from me. And then nurse looked at us serious and was like, we were like, okay, because we weren't messing around with that. And it was a full 2 minutes of her going deep blue. And they like whacked her. And then she finally went, and then the whole room, because there was like 10 nurses in there at that point.
Scary.
We all took a breath like with her, because it was like, we were freaked out. Then she was fine. The blood sugar thing in the moment really worried us, because they basically had to do 3 tests in a row. She had to pass every test. And if she failed 3 in a row, she had to go to the NICU.
Dang.
It could have been like 2 days.
Yeah.
So she failed 2 in a row, then passed 1, and then failed 2 more in a row, and then passed the next 3.
Jeez.
So we were super stressed. But anyway, it was a cool... I'll tell you the song thing real quick, and then we'll move on, because I know I'm taking a bunch of time on this topic. But Morgan was playing music when we were in that room. The second they told her, you're going to push in the next hour or whatever, she put on just like Apple Music, playing all of her music. And it was like a bunch of calm... It was good music. It was good songs. Morgan couldn't push her out. It was literally like 55 minutes of pushing.
Apple bottom jeans.
No. And you know how you can't just like push on your own. You have to wait for the contraction.
Yeah.
And each contraction's like 3 minutes apart, whatever. So there's like a song between each one.
Yeah.
So there's nothing we can do. We're just waiting, and then it hits, and she has to push. Somewhere Over the Rainbow comes on.
No,
Dude.
of course.
Right when the contraction hits, and she still doesn't look like she's gonna come out.
Yeah.
And the doctor's like, "Come on, Morgan," and she comes out.
Did you cry?
To that song. I didn't cry, but I was like, God. The second the song came on, in my head, I thought, watch her come out now.
For context, Tristynn's dad died, and that was one of his favorite songs.
Mm-hmm. Well, for deeper context, he died to that song. If you look back in your memes. I know we just got real deep there, but he passed away while that song was playing. So the second the song came on, I was like, no way. And then I was holding her, and I don't know if it was the right reference, but I was like, that's some like eye for an eye stuff in a good way. Like we lost such a heavy soul.
Yeah.
And then I get my new favorite little soul, my favorite person now.
What if Papa's soul jumped in her?
I know. That's what I was like, man. It was just so crazy because she didn't like purposely play the song. Her phone was in the corner of the room. It was crazy.
Was this it doesn't matter what it was on, but it was Spotify?
It was Apple Music. It was just like on the recommend. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Super cool. But whole experience, super cool.
Yeah.
And what being a dad for 2.5 weeks has taught me, definitely patience and like, I don't know, there's just a new level of teamwork with Morgan.
Yeah.
She's killing it.
It's unifying for sure.
Yeah. We realized like we haven't sat down together and done anything other than like we'll eat together for dinner. But we used to like watch a show or watch a movie or watch YouTube or find random times during the day to do something. And now that I'm also working really hard, I find it, if I'm not home, it's much easier to actually lock in and do my work because now I just have this looming thought of like there's more people counting on me kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, like anything, you do get all of that, meaning not that you go back to how you were, but it just becomes the new. It just becomes the new reality.
Yeah.
There's a shift where you go from selfish to selfless, like as a team.
Yeah.
And not that anybody actually is selfish before, but you have to. I remember I was telling you, it's so nice. You don't even realize how nice it is when you can just say, "Hey, you want to go to Chili's right now?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Yeah, let's go."
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore. And then, or date nights and all that.
Yeah.
Even if you have a paid nanny or a mother-in-law or a babysitter, or somebody to come anytime you want, it's just not the same because you're not free. It's not, you don't have the same level of freedom where you can just go and be gone as long as you want. And even if you could, if somebody's like, "We'll stay here as long as you want."
Kind of don't want to.
Well, one, you don't want to. And two, in the back of your mind, you're like, "I want to be home with my kid."
Yeah.
So it's obviously brand new, but when you get deeper and deeper into it, this is for me at least anyway. The mom's at home all the time. They're like, "Get me out of here. I need a vacation."
Yeah, they definitely need a
You're
break
kind
too.
of gone. Not gone all the time, but you're out more. The dad definitely has more freedom than the mom does for sure. But when I go, if me and Melissa go on a vacation, even now still, and they're not with us, I just feel bad the whole time.
Yeah.
I just want them there. And yes, it kind of sucks when they're there and you're trying to have a, like a date or a vacation with just your wife or whatever.
Yeah.
And you should just be alone. You need that. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, "Oh, they would love this," or I feel bad. We're having fun without them.
Yeah.
So that's something we live with. So it's a fun little double-edged sword.
Interesting. It's a really cool feeling, and I feel time is even more fleeting now. It's just flying by. She's only 2.5 weeks old.
Not to bring up your dad again, but time, life, death, all that. When he died, for whatever reason, my idea of time
I've talked
changed
about this too.
so much.
Yeah.
It never hit me harder, and I'm like, man, especially me.
Yeah.
I know I'm not out of time, but it feels like I'm out of time. So I'm
Yeah.
so much more frustrated and dedicated and motivated
100%.
to do bigger things faster. It's
Yeah, you articulated that well. Because for me, before he was gone, life just felt like infinite. It didn't feel like rainbows and sunshine, but it almost kind of did. It just felt.
you're kind of in La La Land.
I would say it just felt like I could get to that later. If I have dreams that I want to chase, I got time. I can get to that later.
Yep.
There was no pressure. It was like, you could do this when you're 27, 47, 67. You could do whatever you want. And it felt like one day I will do this and one day I'll be happy and all that. But then it was literally like, also when we were being told he's probably going to pass away, those like 72 hours, it still didn't even click yet. It just,
No, you can't.
It was the moment he passed away, the moment, it was literally in that exact instance that, other than, oh, I miss him, the first thing that changed in my head was like, ooh, this stuff ends. And it can end quick.
Yep.
Can end out of nowhere. And ever since that exact moment, I don't literally stop and think when I'm feeling unmotivated, well, you're going to die one day. But I have this timer, and I feel like I'm watching it go in reverse, and I feel like I'm watching the seconds fall off. And now when I don't do things that I want to do or I want to achieve, I'm just much more driven to do it. Also, it's kind of helped me take more risks.
Yeah.
Because
we get a
it just feels so much more finite. That's all I'm trying to say. And it feels measurable. But before it did not feel measurable.
We have a real reference point now.
Yeah.
It's like,
because your reference point is always just you're born.
Yeah.
So then you say, oh, time's flying by, because your perception of you today behind you is getting bigger, so it feels like it's going faster.
Yeah.
But rarely do you have it on both ends. So now it's literally, we have a map and a destination, and you can literally feel.
So what was he, 62, right?
No, he was almost 62. I'm going to fix that thing. It was almost 62. He was 61 and a half.
So think about this for me. If I'm lucky, I'm halfway right now. If I make lifestyle changes, right? So if I'm lucky, I'm halfway through. Let's say I'm lucky and I live till I'm 80.
I think you could.
Our DNA says if you continue making bad choices, 60, right?
Yeah.
So I do make better choices, but let's say 80.
He lives pretty hard too.
However, 80, you have to also think, and this is what goes through my head, makes me so frustrated about how long things take, and it makes me extra impatient. If 80 is the number, what's the quality of life from 70 to 80? Not great.
Yeah.
So now remove that. So now there's 30 years left.
And you don't want to be working all that time.
I don't know. I kind of do. I love working. I like progress, movement.
For sure. Definitely addicted to.
I've never been a 100 millionaire.
Yeah.
Or a billionaire. I don't know what I will get to. I know what I want to get to. But I think right now I can tell you, if I had 500 million in the bank, I'm not changing. I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
And it depends at what speed you get these things. But I was talking to Melissa the other day, and I was telling her, dang, I just totally lost my thought right there. That was weird. I don't have. Oh, I remember. I do things for the people around me.
Yeah.
When I think about how much money I want, the things I want to build, businesses I want to build, stuff like this, all the success, it's only in the thought of, I boiled it down to, because I want to be like the fun giver.
Yeah.
It breaks down to that. I want to be the guy. I want to be the place where people can come. I want my property finished and fully developed.
Yeah.
Because what I envision there is everybody comes here for this. We do summer parties here. We do holiday parties here.
Yep.
We do the whiskey party here. And then vacations, I want to be able to say, no, we're all going. We're going to take a private jet.
I know.
I'll pay you for whatever you were going to make at work so you could be off for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I want the ability to do that,
Yep.
to gather everybody. And then if you flip it, I was telling her, if I was alone, if I was single, not married, and didn't have kids, I don't know that A, I would work this hard, but B, if I did work, that's all I would do. I don't want to go out to dinner alone.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to Hawaii alone. I probably wouldn't have the plans or the dream for my property and all that stuff because it's all for sharing.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's definitely driven by the community and family and like aspect, not like you're all of Temecula, but you know what I mean? Because I have that exact same feeling, and you want to give.
Yeah, share.
It's just like
if you have nobody to share these things with, I don't think.
What's the point?
Yeah, what is the point?
Yeah,
it's all about that.
Yeah,
and not in an egotistical way either. I don't want to be like, oh, I have the money, we could do all these things.
No,
I just want to say I can give this to you.
Yeah,
I can give you what you can't give you.
It's a really, really fulfilling feeling when you can provide for other people.
It's so fun, like down to the micro stuff. Like when we've gone to Vegas with groups, I'm always just throwing money around for like a limo or VIP or to cut lines or whatever it is to just elevate the experience a little bit for those people. And it's not like an egotistical thing. It's not like, look at me. I'm like, no, let's go. We can get there faster. We can do it this way. We can have fun. And I just love that. And I want to have endless amounts of money to do that, to create those moments and do, and cutting lines and doing VIP stuff. It isn't a braggadocious thing. It's a
Papa thing.
I just love it.
It's what Papa got.
I love that. So that drives me. And if I didn't have a family or if we didn't have a big family with people that do stuff together, I don't know that I would work as hard, honestly.
Well, no, I 100% agree. We definitely have we're super unique and fortunate with our family aspect. Most people move away from each other.
I know.
They're not very close with their siblings.
We still don't hug, though.
That's weird.
That's pretty tight.
They see their parents only on holidays. It's crazy. They're just like,
I don't get that.
Yeah.
If everybody moved right now to a place I hated, I would happily just go there.
Yeah.
I would follow.
Because I think about how often I hang out with friends, and it's not very often.
Zero.
I love them
for me,
but very rarely now. And yeah, it's just family. And I genuinely look forward. Sometimes you're like, man, I'm busy. It kind of sucks. But I genuinely look forward to the fun stuff that we do.
Totally.
Like actually look forward, and I'm excited to go participate. That's the thing when.
You should stay close with your friends. I let all mine go. It's kind of a bummer. I don't have any. Melissa gets to do a lot of stuff now, which is cool, and I love that for her. Mm. And I kind of give her shit about it sometimes. I'm like, you always do this, you always do that. She never tells me I can or can't do anything. Obviously, you know that dynamic. Yeah. But I don't ever do anything.
Yeah.
Because if there is some free time, like, what am I going to do?
I'll say
I can officially say, I don't want to say I have zero friends, but I kind of have zero friends because I don't spend time. I mean, it's years since I've talked to some of these people. And then also I'm like, I don't want to go like catch up.
Yeah.
Like figure out what everybody's been doing.
Like just go mountain biking with their buddies or go to the river or like go backpacking or
it's always brothers for us.
Yeah, 100%.
Speaking of which, there's a river trip coming. Are you guys going to go to that?
I don't think so.
It's a really, really nice house you guys can be in.
Yeah, but I don't know if I want to sit in the house while everyone else is having fun on the river.
Did you see the house?
No.
You need to see the house.
All right. Also, Morgan doesn't want to do baby stuff in another house if all we're doing is just sitting there.
Yeah. Well,
maybe.
You're going to have to get over that because you're never going to do anything.
No, I know.
Especially if you're going back to back with kids.
I know.
You'll see.
We might. I don't know. Well, I think we actually have plans to. That weekend is also our anniversary.
Oh, yeah. You screwed up getting married on Father's Day.
Yeah.
Didn't matter to me because I didn't have a dad.
Yeah. But we have some plans. I think if we don't go to the river, we are going to go to Mastro's on Saturday.
With the baby?
No. Noreen's going to watch her.
Peepaw and Noreen's going
to watch? We're going to go to Mastro's. And then on Sunday, Morgan has something planned for me.
Is it a Father's Day brunch at Mastro's? I took Mom and Melissa to the Mother's Day brunch. It was pretty banging, dude.
It's probably going to end up being the Father's Day brunch, but the purpose was to be our anniversary.
Oh, duh. Okay.
Because we were going to go on Saturday, and our anniversary's on Monday.
It's your first anniversary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which flew by crazy.
Well, you were
Crazy.
pregnant the whole time.
She was pregnant. We bought a house. We did all kinds of stuff.
Your dog died. Just kidding. Oh, speaking of the dog, how's that? And
Dude,
don't give me a 10-minute.
No. Surprisingly pretty well. We just were very strategic about introducing them.
Yeah, but what's the day-to-day right now? Is Gypsy just on the roam now?
Yeah, they're both just free.
All right.
June will be chilling in her rocker on the ground.
Do you have 3 minutes of content all by yourself? Because I got to pee real bad.
Oh, no. Yeah, I could find something out.
Let me give you something to think about. I'm going to
Okay.
tell you my next question. Let's see here.
To finish that, though, it's relieving, dude. Super relieving. They're totally
Yeah, that's good.
fine.
Okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
I want to ask you two-parter. How has your life changed? And then
Since
how has it affected your business mentality?
yeah, let's jump into that. Definitely business.
Because I have some
Since-
business stuff that I'm doing.
Since the child.
Yeah.
Okay. I can get into the life change while you're gone. Yeah, when you get back. 100% though, change for the better. Absolutely. Always wanted to be a dad, and I still want to be a dad. Like, the feeling hasn't gone away at all. I'm just I'm on the moon about it. It's awesome. Zero complaints. Every time you're tired or have to do something, it's absolutely worth it. It's not a sacrifice at all. I think a sacrifice is when you give something up, or it could be viewed in negative connotation. Zero sacrifices, just all love and want, and it's awesome. Also, it's cool being a dad and a husband, because you're like a different version of a husband. And yeah, it feels good, feels fulfilling. So it's great. It's great. I want to have a bunch of kids. Obviously, that's kind of up to Morgan too. But I'm back. Dude, I'm gonna have to go in a few minutes too.
Will it do anything? Okay.
That's all good. I kind of told them how it changed. It was just all positive and everything was great.
Let's pivot here to business stuff, because one of the things I want to do with this podcast is obviously add value to people, and then reinforce the values I'm learning.
Yeah.
So, as you know, but probably not everybody else, I spent an absurd amount of money on Bet David Consulting. So I'm working with them for a year. It started end of January, somewhere January 20th or something. So I'm doing four things. So I have general masterminds with Patrick Bet David, one with him, one with Tom Ellsworth, one with Will Guidara. And those are a large group of people. General masterminds are, I can get into exactly what it is later. I'm also doing elite masterminds with Patrick and Tom. These are all separate things. They're all once a month, but it ends up being a lot in a month for me. And there's two more. I'm also doing quarterly one-on-ones with Tom. I'm supposed to be in Florida to do that, but I haven't done it yet. The first one I did on Zoom. No, the second one I may do on Zoom as well. It's so hard to leave and spend all that money to go on top of it. And then the last thing is the vault, which I will take you to.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
That's huge. We need to be really locked in and prepared for that. That's in September.
Yeah.
So one of my frustrations with paying for all of that so far has been, if you don't work it, it won't work. If you it's almost like ChatGPT or AI.
Yeah.
It's only as good as your questions are going to be.
Well, I think
there's two parts to this. It's extracting the right information by asking the right questions, followed up by doing the actual work.
Yeah.
So I think I just wrapped up. Well, I have one on tomorrow with Tom.
Nice.
And I think that wraps up. I've done 4 of each things and one-on-one with Tom. And it's really weird and bizarre to figure out what you want to process with them.
Yeah.
Because the issue I've had so far was these big mile-high general questions. I want to be here. How do I get there?
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
It almost makes you feel like you're like, dude, I'm going to need like 10 years of coaching to get to the bottom of this, because you just feel like it just takes crazy.
I don't know at this point. What I do know is I'm starting to feel this fire in my belly and this I feel the snowball getting bigger. So Friday I had an elite mastermind with Patrick. On that one, I spent a lot of time prior to that, like 3 days before, a couple hour chunks each day, really trying to figure out what I was going to ask, and then if I thought that would be a good question or not, and then also what I think he would say to boil it down, because usually I'll come with this, like I said, this big mile high view. It's just too general and broad of a question, and they have to kind of figure out the actual question and then the action for me to take, and it's been kind of a mess. So I thought a lot about it.
That's exactly what happens to me too.
I kept processing it. I kept thinking what they would ask now that I know how they operate, and then go, what context do they need to answer this? What data do they need from my business or me or my team? And then I start refining it, and it almost turns into a new question. So Friday, what I came up with was, should I be hiring? Like, I skipped over.
Yeah.
Should I hire? Should I make my team better? Should I delegate differently? Should I specify roles better? And came up with, what are my bottlenecks? I wrote all those down. And then just simply figured out, there is no version of making this team here work better with the amount of work coming in. So the answer is, I'm going to have to hire. Now it's, do I hire offense or defense? Offense is sales. Like basically a salesman. Sales
marketing.
Team. Yes. Yeah. Defense would be cleaning up the chaos that already exists now. So it would be SOPs, manuals, all of that. Not just because I already wrote those. That's what my first quest, if you will, with the consulting was. I don't have anything documented at all. So I worked on all of those. They look great on paper, but then it's like,
how functional are they?
Yeah, do they work in reality and in practice? Yeah. Kind of. Some of it does. So those are getting refined. But now what I'm realizing is everybody's overworked. And there's I can't refine this team anymore because they were already doing too much. And even though I specified what I want each person to do now, I'm like realizing, okay, there's not enough time in a day for these people to do these things, and they're not going to work 24/7 like me, nor should they. So the question was, do I hire offense or defense or both at the same time? After processing that with him, it was obvious that it needs to be defense first. He basically said, you need to get operations dialed in because what you're telling me is you already have too much work right now. You can't bid everything, and when you do, it's messy and it's not working well and you're losing jobs. So it's hire defense first and then be prepared to hire offense. So I there was a lot more to it than that. He told me I need a quality control person and gave me a bunch of information about how that looks for me in my business. Yeah. Came off that call with a super high and dialed in more questions to go along with that because I knew I have Tom on Monday and I had the whole weekend to process this. And then also I had all these thoughts and I went into Connect, which you should get, by the way.
Yeah.
So you can actually, all these guys, you can chat with them in there. You can send them, it costs money, obviously, but you can get actual answers from them, and it's pretty rapid. So on Friday night, I sent Patrick a Connect, or I was about to, and then I realized he had sent a video. If you ever Connect, at least Patrick, if you do it once, he's then sending anyone who's ever sent him a Connect. He sends out little videos just to those people.
Nice.
And it was a month ago, and I didn't see it because I'm not on there often, and I'm trying to break that habit too. And his video was there's about a few things, but one of the things he brought up was he writes a business plan every year. And I don't remember what he said about how much time he spends writing it, but it's ready before the year starts. It's dialed in. It's the plan for the whole year, the whole business plan. He laminates it. He takes it with him everywhere. He reads it daily.
That's awesome.
And man, I was like, damn it. Okay, I'm lacking clarity. I'm lacking vision.
Yep.
So in that moment, I was like, okay, I know I need to hire. I'm going to hire for defense. Once I hire for defense, I have more people to specify and delegate to, which will clean up the in-house stuff. Mm-hmm. We're already 4.5 months in. What do we have? 7.5 months left in this year. So I send him a connect and I say, is it too late to write a business plan for this year? I don't think it is, but I want to know the answer. And
That's
if
a great
not,
question. I was literally just thinking that right now.
and I said, if not, can you give me your formula? How do you do this? Because I said, as you know, I ask these generalized, huge bulk questions, and I'm really having trouble with clarity of where I want to go, but also how to even ask the right questions.
Yeah.
I'll play the audio. He got back to me like immediately because I said I wanted to work on this weekend. And
dude, that is so valuable because that's exactly
so here's his answer to me. Let me turn this up, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to talk to Tom about.
Oh, absolutely, it's not too late. Whatsoever, it's not too late. Now, remember, some businesses are based on seasons, so no, you can set that up any time you want. My suggestion is buy the book, Choose Your Enemies Wisely, because it shows the 12 building blocks. Follow the exact format of that book, and then get the online course, Business Planning Workshop, that I do once a year. I do that in December. If you already have it, just go through it again. But it's definitely not too late to go through it. A part of putting a business plan together is some people put it together as way too logical, and some people put it together as way too emotional. You know, it's all why, no how. Where you need a little bit of both to put it together. So I would get the book, Choose Your Enemies Wisely, and take the lead from there. And on top of that, I would have whoever your rep is, ask them about the business planning workshop that we did in December. The recording's got to be somewhere. Literally sit there and go through the format. It is not too late. Only 4.5 months of the year are gone. We still have 7.5 months left. You're better off putting a plan together for the last 7.5 months than waiting till 2026. Just think of it as sports. Sports is what? 7 months. Basketball is around 7 months. Baseball is around 7-8 months. Football is around 7-8 months. Make sense? So just think of it as this is your season. Go.
So
that's awesome.
So I'm taking that. So now I have my refined notes and info that I got from my elite mastermind with him on Friday. Mm-hmm. I wrote out some information. I looked up the 12 steps in Choose Your Enemies Wisely. I still need to read it, which I will. Mm-hmm. I have the business planning workshop, and now I have an elite mastermind with Tom on Monday. I'm bringing all that information to him, telling him, here's what I've decided. I'm going to hire for defense. I think I need this. Please tell me if that's the case. And I'm going to make a business plan for the rest of this year immediately after that call stops. And I need you to help me work that out. And Tom is the super technical, analytical.
Yeah, it'll be great.
He's very good at breaking down the steps. So within 7 days from right now, I will have that plan.
That's awesome.
I'm going to put deadlines, dates on each thing. And this is what I want help with him on is they need to be realistic. Because again, it's one thing to write things down and say, I'm going to find the best estimator in 30 days. And maybe you don't for a year, whatever. So I'm going to find a real plan that can work if you put the work in that ends with 2025. So 2025 to me is no longer going to be about the expansion. It's going to be preparing for the expansion, which will be 2026.
You should bring that to the next episode. I'm assuming we will have our next episode after that's done. And if not, whenever it is done.
Yeah.
And we should go through it live because I think it'd be super helpful for us to view each other, like how we're doing that. Because I'm actively in the middle of doing that with my coach, but it was like we were like looking at it through a different lens, and the goal was to essentially complete a plan like that so that then it can be broken down into weeks and goals for each week and each month that are actually measurable to ensure that you're actually on track making progress to the plan. Because like I said, it's very easy to just laminate something, throw it on the wall and look at it, but like you have no direction because it's so broad. And the next step, once that was done and broken down into chunks, was to then provide goals to the staff so that if they're achieving their goals, I'm achieving my goals, and they're so bite-sized because they're broken down into week, there's no reason that you're not getting to the finish line on that business plan, which then at the exact same time, you can also assign incentives or bonuses to your staff when they achieve these goals or hit those metrics monthly or quarterly, so that you're also comfortable giving them these bonuses or incentives because you know for a fact that if they hit that, you're doing your plan so well that there's no reason why they shouldn't receive that bonus. So that's huge because I've never had something like that in my business. I don't think you have had anything.
I've had nothing. Structured. Let me tell you something crazy. You know the revenue that I bring in, and you know how I've started and where I'm at right now. I've never read books.
Yeah.
I've never had a mentor. I've never had coaching. I'm not modeling my business to anybody's.
Yeah.
How I got here is wild.
I think it's better to have that side of it though, because that's just you could call it grit, or I think
I have really good instincts.
Yeah.
Gut instincts is number one. And for sure grit. I will outwork anyone, no matter what. However,
and a level of focus too.
It's like common sense, good gut instincts, and then
just drive.
Drive. However, it's been aimless and inefficient.
Yeah, because
imagine where I'd be if I had started reading books or asking for help 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So now I have to exponentially grow because I don't want to say, in 2025 I started this thing, which will put me here. Had I done it back here, I'd be so much higher. I want to say, had I done it back there, what height would I have reached? So now I need to work triple time because I'm still fucking going for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And the great news is that it's 100% possible.
Yeah.
It's just.
Let me read you some quotes in this book. So one thing I love and hate about this consulting is they make you read, they give you homework, there's accountability.
You're doing a really great job with that, by the way, because I am like.
Well, I don't want to let him down. So this is something. So this is what I've learned about the dollar amounts. And also me, and it's probably human nature because I'm not anything special. But if you were to give me, or if someone were to offer me all of this same information for free, I probably wouldn't do any of it.
Yeah.
Because it's a staggering amount of money. I'm like, you've got to do this work.
Yeah.
Or you're going to throw all of that money away. But on top of that, I genuinely love that guy, respect that guy, admire that guy, the whole team. So I don't want to let them down. I don't want to let me down, but I don't want to let them down either. So I'm doing the work, reading. So in this, the last book I read was The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. It's a great book. There's a lot in there. But there's this quote in here. And what I'm getting at with this is I've come so far with nothing, no information, no mentor, no reading books, anything. I had to Google what a KPI was right before the PVD call. Had no idea. I didn't know what an SOP was when I started.
Yeah, that's funny. That's crazy.
And so there's all these basic foundational things that were missed in my upbringing. And this book is about a lot of stuff, but this one quote, it just hit so hard and it's so simple. And other people may go, yeah, stupid. But it says, the key is to let's see, hold on. The key is to define our goals, our results, in a way that is simple enough to grasp easily and specific enough to be actionable. Profit is not actionable enough. That has been my entire approach.
Say that first part again, the first half.
The key is to define our goals, our results, in a way that is simple enough to grasp easily and specific enough to be actionable. Profit is not actionable enough. Meaning if you go, I want to make $100 million and that's your goal, there's nothing to track. You're just like more.
Yeah.
But if you said as the founder, CEO, whatever, I know $100 million is the target, but how do we get there? And you start making the steps and you back it all the way back up to where you're at. And I'll use my case here. It's never going to happen if the admin side, the closeout packages, the document control, in my house doesn't get fixed, then I can't take the work that's even coming in now,
Yeah,
let alone expand. So now it would be, okay, 2025, the rest of it is about dialing this in. So there's no missed communications. There's no flaws in closeout packages. There is there's client nurturing. There's following up on leads, all these things that I was naturally doing, but now I can't because it's too big.
Yeah.
That's the goal. And each person can get something that's trackable and specific.
Yes.
And you could see it. And then you could keep going and going and going. And that'll get you to the $100 million, whatever your target is.
My coach always says, what gets measured gets managed. You have to, everything
That's
has
great.
to be measurable.
Yeah.
This is a side note. I just listened to a brand new podcast called Founders. I had no idea. I don't know much about it yet because I'm still just on my first episode, but the founder of the new franchise we're working with, called Scramblers Golf, over on the, not the East, yeah, basically the East Coast. He sent it to me and said, you should really listen to this. I think it would resonate with you well. And I think you should listen to it. The guy who started the podcast essentially studies like the most influential, biggest people in the world. And it's all business.
Yeah.
So it's like all the way from like philosophers to, you just got to check it out. I won't stick on that too much, but I think you should check out Founders because I think it would do well with what you're doing right now.
Let me do this. This is actually good since we're on business. Let me read you my book report.
Yeah.
So I have to do these. I have to submit a book report, but then as soon as you get on an elite call, this is not on the general masterminds. It's on the elite calls. The very first thing PBD does as soon as he comes on camera is he calls out everybody that he gave books to, and he goes, "Give me your biggest takeaway."
Yeah.
And a lot of these people are winging it, and he calls them out, and it's my favorite thing to watch. But I actually write it, and this is the one I wrote for that. I try to go like a real brief overview and then how it was specific to me. So let's see. So
You guys have to submit them as well?
yes.
That's good.
So I put, let's see, this book is about what breaks down a team and what it takes to build one that actually works. It lays out the 5 main dysfunctions that derail teams: absence of trust, fear of conflict, lack of commitment, avoidance of accountability, and inattention to results. Pretty simple on the surface, but brutal and helpful when you start to apply it to yourself.
Man, I got to read that because
Here's where it got personal for me. Reading this book made me realize I am the biggest dysfunction in my company. Not because I'm lazy or don't care, but because I'm leading reactively, not structurally. I don't do enough meetings, and when I do, they're off the cuff, not driven by results. My team doesn't have clear targets. They don't have real deadlines. They don't even know what their monthly scoreboard is supposed to be. Hell, I don't half the time. Most of my conversations are one-on-one, and that hit me hard because I've built a team without building a system and completely missed the whole team buy-in part, or sharing the specific goals or deadlines. They're all good people, but they're not aligned, and that's on me. Another piece that really landed is a good part of the book: the idea that conflict is productive. I've spent way too long trying to avoid friction, trying to smooth things out, and instead of letting honest conversations sharpen the focus. This book made it clear. No conflict means no clarity. No clarity means no buy-in. No buy-in means no commitment. And the cycle shows up every day in how we miss deadlines, drift off track, and lose efficiency. Then there's the quote that I already read to you. But there's this other, this is longer, but I'm only going to read you one more part because this was really big to me too. Let's see. Where did it go? Okay.
the book is called The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team.
Yeah, it's back here. It's
The red one.
this guy.
I just added it to my cart. on
Patrick
Amazon.
Leon. I don't know how to say his last name. These books are great. This guy's a good
I'm ordering
storyteller.
it right
I
now.
effing hate reading, and the stories are so good. Okay, right here. Okay, so in this book, there's like this whole executive team. They're at a meeting, and they did this practice where they're trying to figure out what their metrics to measure things will be, or
That's like the
what-
biggest, hardest thing is
so you can use this. Listen to this. I'm just going to tell you what they are. These are the 7 metrics, and it can work for anybody's business. And I'm like, how do you not think about this stuff? I'm going to read them and then tell you how I interpret them. Revenue, expenses, new customer acquisition, current customer satisfaction, employee retention, market awareness, product quality.
God.
Okay.
That's so obvious,
Right?
Too.
So revenue, duh. Are we bringing money in? And then expenses kind of goes with that. It's the second category, but expenses plus revenue equals profit.
Yeah.
Are we doing well, right?
Yeah.
New customer acquisition. What are we doing to bring new people in? Are we tracking that? What is the system that is bringing them in? Is it working? That's a category you can, each one of these has its own giant SOP that you could write for this. Current customer satisfaction. That's huge. That's huge for any business, but especially both of ours, because
we're working.
The customer is the one, they're really the one selling for you.
Yeah.
They're really the one saying, these guys are great, go with them.
We're working on that right now. Do you want me to tell you how we're building that?
Yeah, let me finish. Let's see. Employee retention, I don't care about that right now, I guess because it's good. Market awareness. Who's out there? Who am I competing with? What are they doing? What am I not doing? How can I be better than them?
I think the employee retention comes into play as you scale and grow a bigger organization too.
Yeah.
I hate to be that guy. I have to pee so bad. I've been holding it for 15 minutes.
All right, go.
But I really don't want to get off track on this because I have. This is a good one.
Yeah. I mean, I can go a little bit deeper into this, but let me see. So, let's see. That's the dashboard right there. Not once a year. Oh, yeah. And then they put timelines on this. So let's see. Not once a year. Monthly. Weekly. It shouldn't be what we're rallying around. Blah, 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 blah. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So this book was great. I also read The 5 Dysfunctions of a CEO. That one's pretty good too. This was really big though. So just those 7 categories alone can probably keep you busy for an entire year trying to dial things in. Product quality was the last one. That one's should be obvious, but whatever you're selling, like Tristynn's in marketing, so he's helping other people sell really, but he's still providing a product. I'm a general contractor. We do tenant improvements, commercial work. So there's quite literally the product is building somebody else's business. And that's huge because between that and current customer satisfaction, those kind of go hand in hand. That has to be done perfect, not well, perfect, in order to keep getting more business. But so this book report,
that was fantastic. That was
plus
that was
you know what we could do
really
actually.
helpful.
I'm just realizing this is great. Like every other podcast, I can bring up my book reports.
Yeah,
because what I do is I do an elite mastermind with one or the other. I download the information from that. Then I sit with those thoughts and try to refine what it meant to me, and then try to put it into some actionable step. Then I read the book that they gave me. So it's kind of like if, January 1st, they gave me a book and I had an elite mastermind. I had a question there. They gave me a book that was relevant to not necessarily the question, but me in general. You compile all of that information at the end of the month before you get to the next elite. And I have a breakdown of notes from the conversation, notes on the book report, what I put into action, how it worked, where I'm at now, what my frustrations are, all of that. And I compile all that and I staple it together because I know most of this year is going to be gathering all of that, putting some of it into practice, but really that whole file is going to be what drives business and growth years to come. So we can go through all of that and I can do my book reports and see where that takes us. But because it's hard to come up with, good information for the podcast that people may or may not want to hear.
Yeah.
But as soon as I started reading this, it's bringing up a lot.
100%. I think we need some kind of like after action report, essentially after we finish coaching or a book or anything like that. I didn't mention it. I do Tony Robbins coaching. I don't have anything, hats with me or anything, but I have my little journal that I use for all my coaching.
I got my future looks bright hat.
I actually have
my Valuetainment orange that they don't even sell, so that's a one-off, I believe. And then my badass gift.
Got this too.
Valuetainment. Oh yeah, the cigar box or the humidor, the ashtray.
I wanted to jump back on the customer retention or customer satisfaction value. That's a huge thing in my business too, because we have so much more volume in terms of clients, and it's very easy to sink the ship if a small group of them have a really horrible experience with you. So
negative words and the negativity that comes out of a customer spreads a lot faster than the positive.
Oh yeah, 100%. And you actually you don't hear everything, but you tend to hear the negativity more often in my
Well, you only hear
experience.
the negativity. That's the frustrating part about this. So
Yeah.
when I finish jobs, I mean, obviously all of them get finished, but I would say 85% of the time, if you killed it and it was perfect, you'll never hear a peep.
Yeah.
It's only if something's bad. It's so rare. Someone has to be a really outgoing, kind, loving person
That's what it is.
to go out of their way to say stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you get them up and running, they have a business now. They're not thinking about your business. They're thinking about their business.
Yeah.
And that's great. That's what they should be doing. But you have to cultivate asking. So I do testimonials now.
Yeah.
And at the end of a job, when we're getting closer to it, I start purposely giving a little extra. I will, there should be some change orders I should charge, and maybe I give those away for free, or I find an opportunity where I can give them something for free or go above and beyond. And as soon as they react to whatever that was, I then say, hey, it's getting pretty close.
Yeah.
You know what I want to do? I want to send my photographer down here. I got a guy that does video, testimonials, this, that, and the other. We could help you market. We could cross promote. And it'd be great if we got you on camera. We could make some reels, send you some content to start promoting your business. And they go, yeah. And then I send Nathan out there, and he gets a testimonial for me. So I never, ever once ask them, will you say some nice things about me on camera? Never once.
Yeah. Those go a really long way. We have some really great ones from same guy. Shout out Nathan. He's doing a great job.
Oh,
Nathan Palmer.
He needs to come in. I told him we'd bring him in. That'll be a fun one.
Yeah, that would be a fun one.
I have another idea too.
The customer satisfaction though. So we're working on the way our model is set up is our clients have biweekly calls with our team to review metrics, go over all kinds of different things, and they're very structured calls. But now that I'm not personally in those calls, it's a little difficult to gauge, is this client just a little frustrated, but we're not going to lose them or anything like that? Or are they happy and we might lose them? It's very up in the air now. So what we're implementing are, I'm not sure if we're going to call them this, but they're called like NPS surveys.
I don't know what that means.
Net Promoter Score. So I learned this from Dan Martell. He is that guy that builds software businesses and sells softwares, and he's a multimillionaire. I watched a video of his from a long time ago talking about how he tracked customer satisfaction, and it was called Net Promoter Score. And basically, on like a biweekly or monthly frequency, you email all of your clients, or you reach out personally and you have them fill out some kind of questionnaire. So that can only be so good, and I'm figuring out the structure of it. Is it anonymous? Is it not? I think we don't want it anonymous because
I think it needs to be personally from you and tailored to them, so it doesn't seem like a generic automated thing, because that's disingenuous.
So right now it's going to be from my email. It'll disclose that no one's going to see this other than myself, and it's not asking them to write 10 paragraphs. It's just going to be a few sliders, and they rank things from like 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. One of them being their satisfaction with the client success manager. So I can also track what is his NPS and what is his client retention rate. So then when we have like 5 or 10, I could see this guy is rarely churning clients, but he's also not upselling. This guy's always churning clients, and I can fire people, hire people, all that.
Yep.
One of the questions though that Dan Martell said is, how likely are you to recommend us to a colleague?
That's great.
And he said it's 1 out of 5. And they're going to be honest. And he's like, if you're getting 1s, 2s, and 3s, something's not right.
Yeah.
You want to be getting 4s and 5s. Particularly, you want to be getting 5s. And he said that right there is your.
You're also assuming people will be honest, though, because some people have like, I don't want to say anything bad to them to their face.
Well, that's the challenging part, and you have to preface that somehow. And I think most people would. I don't know, but yeah, I think there's.
If they were genuinely upset, I think you're going to get a lot of 1s and 5s. I don't think you're going to get anything in between.
Yep.
It's kind of like Yelp. People only go there to say negative stuff, or this is the best. Yeah, like how many people are giving 3s? And then the people that are giving the
Yeah.
threes are the people you don't want to hang out with.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's something we're learning, and it's going to be coming out soon. And I'll definitely provide some feedback on how that's going. But other than that, it is difficult, and it's very important for our business to, we've never been able to measure something like that. And now that we have that client success team, that's something that's really stressing me out, is how are we going to measure that? And I don't know if there's another way to do that.
So what I'm learning with all of this stuff is you have to just, one of them said, and I don't remember exactly what it was or who said it, something to the effect of, it's better to do something half-assed than to not do it at all, or to wait too long to do it.
Yeah.
And also, you have to be specific and do one thing at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever your idea is for how to do that, you should just do it immediately.
Yeah.
And then that will start giving you direction on what it should be.
Yeah.
So if you have one idea about how to do it right now, start it next week, run it for a month, see how it goes. And then you might go, that's dumb. It didn't measure anything. It didn't work. But now I know how it should work. Mm-hmm. So you just move. You just have to go. And only do one thing at a time. My biggest issue this entire time with all the consulting, for one, I don't know how many people got sold on the size of the package that I got sold on. I'm doing so much with them. It's so hard to keep up. And that's where my frustration has come in, is one, I spent a ton of money doing this. And two, I am still running a business, and I am super active. I wear so many hats. It's not like I have this giant team where I have time to go work on stuff. This is, you just have to lose sleep. End of story. And I have to be busy.
Yeah. Got to be a dad still.
Got to be a dad. Got to be a husband. Got to be the CEO, the estimator, the sales team, the problem solver, the accountant, the bookkeeper, the biz dev guy, the client retention guy.
Yep.
Pay the bills here, pay the bills there. I got to be the guy that services all the cars, make the merch, come up with ideas, have fun with my family, go watch dances, try to take care of my body, try to take care of myself.
That's the whole point. That's what Chris Williams says. That's the point. Like, the point is that it's that difficult.
I love it.
Yeah.
The only thing that I don't like is if I'm inefficient. That's why I'm doing the consulting.
That's what I get very frustrated about, is I'll spin my wheels nonstop. Like, I'll never get tired, but I can feel when I'm not pointed in the right direction. It's a very gross feeling. That's when I get like depressed.
Yeah. Am I at my potential? I have no problem landing short of a goal if I can say I couldn't have done any better. I couldn't have worked any longer. I used every ounce of knowledge that I have. I studied, learned, asked as many questions as I could. If I can say yes to all those different metrics, I don't care where I'm at. I'll be completely happy about it.
How often do you think you get in your own way?
Well, that's the only thing that gets in the way.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I think I get in my own way 99% of the time.
That's the only problem. And I mean, the way I interpret that is yourself getting in your own way would be your lack of knowledge, your lack of drive, effort, or
just
processing,
clarity and direction. Because you know what I do all the time is I go into the office, I go to work, and there's a stack of like 50 emails. And I go, this is really stressing me out. I really want to get all these answered today. It'd make me feel much better. But I also know I'm going to wake up tomorrow. There's going to be another 50. Yep. So there's an element of there's going to be more. It's kind of infinite. So get through them all because you got to get prepared for the next day. Also, there's the other element of there are much better things you could do with your time. And if you focused on that, you'd feel much better. Then you could go home, sit on the couch, and answer all 50 in under an hour.
Okay,
and what
I have something for you.
But this is what I do. This is what stresses me out. Bothers me. It bothers me so much that I get legitimately like depressed.
Yep.
And it sounds like a weenie, but it like hurts my feelings. That's how much it bothers me.
Yeah.
So what I do is I sit and I go, these emails, Slack messages, or tasks, doesn't have to be an email, are bothering me. They're very small. They are not going to make me any more money. They're not going to make the client super happy. It's just stuff we have to do, and no one else on the team's doing it. So unfortunately, I have to. It's like picking up dog shit or doing errands essentially, but at work, or you get the comparison.
Yeah.
You got to do it. You got to take trash out. So I do it all day, and then I look up and finally get a breath of air, and I go, it's already 3:30. The hell? Yeah. Oh yeah, there's 50 more. It's 3:30. It's 4:30. I gotta go
you have
home
to
soon.
accept the reality of the position.
For sure.
It is endless.
But here's the problem. The day's over, and I'm like really upset with myself, very upset with myself, because I look back and I go, all you did all day was communicate. Yes, that is part of the job. So I am actively working. Did you once research a new franchise brand, make a new connection, or foster a connection with any of your current clients or people in your network, or try to improve yourself or an employee? Like, I don't do any of those things, and minutes, hours, weeks will go by, and then I'm so frustrated. Why am I not making progress? I work so much, and then I come up for air, and now that I have the office, it's usually on the drive home. On the drive home, I do all my thinking, and I go, dude, you are stupid. If you actually wanted to grow your business, it's probably very easy, because if you just sat and dedicated 4 hours of your day from like 5 a.m. to 9 a.m., whatever, to every single day, reaching out to franchise brands, making those connections, we could probably overnight or within 30 days grow significantly, and all it would take is just a small amount of work. And I know what the frustrating thing that I'm getting at is, I know what the work is, and I literally know how to do it, what to do it, when to do it. But for some reason, when it comes time to do it, I sit down and I get distracted on these other items, because it's not like I'm sitting playing video games.
You have to prioritize,
doing all these things.
And you have to, and I'm actively doing this right now because I have the same issues. You have to prioritize. There's a few things. Prioritize, know yourself, and create a filtering system for how to prioritize.
It's like blocking your time.
Kind of. Yes. And that's where the knowing yourself comes in, and I'll explain that. And I'm working on this now, and it's kind of working. So one, our businesses are different, so this filtering system won't apply, but you can figure out a way to make it apply. I have too many things to do. I have too many jobs coming in. I can't get to them all, but I want them all, and I'm not going to say no to any of them, because they all fall within my niche and the target that I'm going for, which is why I have to hire. But there is a priority list, and I'm like, how do you determine who's more valuable and who's not? So what I did is I opened up a new chat in ChatGPT, and I said, hey, in a nutshell, I'm going to ramble all the things that are bothering me right now. And then I need you to help. I need you to tell me what I'm saying, basically. Yeah. And one big category in there was about how to figure out who I should pay attention to and the company should pay attention to. And knowing that I don't want to say no to any of these brands, people, or contacts that are reaching out to me right now. And it's so simple. Again, it's like, you need to create a tier system.
Yeah.
And there was 4 metrics. I have it in here somewhere. I could bring it up. We can do this on another day, but it's like rate people on these 4 different categories. And it's like current income, loyalty, who's bringing in money now is one category, basically. Another one is who's going to be bringing in the most money later, which brand has got the most potential upside growth. And it's like, here's who you nurture and cultivate, and here's who Anthonie, the CEO, founder, works on. And so it created a system where I can look at it, and it's 1 + 1 = 2. I have to focus on this brand, this brand, this brand. They're all tier 1.
Yeah.
Tier 2 and tier 3 need to be through this next best guy with me checking in on them. Tier 3 is the team. Trust and let them have autonomy and let them take care of it.
Yeah.
And then the know yourself part with tasks during the day. I notice that the waking up at 4 a.m. feels good. It's like this thing where you go, I'm up before everybody else. I can get a lot of shit done. I feel like I love my life more if I get up early like that.
Yeah.
And stay on the couch and answer emails and do a certain group of things.
Yeah.
Then go for a walk or do a cold plunge deal. I don't actually come to the office anymore until about 9 a.m. I'm up at 4 or 5 doing work. I'll smash some stuff out, figure out what I want to tell the team when I get there at 9. Then I'll do like a little cold plunge and a run or walk or whatever. Then I'll show up at work. And then I'll work here, but I'll find moments where I'm in this like functional freeze where there's, again, too much to do.
Yeah.
I'm drawing blanks. Then I realize when I'm here, I kind of just need to be the leader here and help everybody do what they're doing.
Yeah.
The next best, most efficient block of time for me is at home after everybody goes to bed. I smash another like 4 hours out.
So I
could go like 4,
Yeah.
6, 7, 8 at the office and another 4 later. Mm-hmm. And now I know where I'm best, what time of day I'm the best at answering emails, what time of day I'm the best at coming up with these grandiose ideas, what time of day I like to read, what time of day I want to do book reports and do biz dev and all that stuff.
So that's exactly what I'm trying to figure out right now. And there's definitely a wrench thrown into it now that I also need to help Morgan, and help with the baby. And that's what I'm learning right now actively is when do I do these things? Because if I just go into the office and do it, I'm just frustrated and I burn all that time. And my coach recommended to me, I did this back in college. I noticed that as much as I like to say I'm self-made and can do all these things, I really do need a rigorous schedule in my life. When I don't have one, I get fat.
Yep.
Literally. I get fat. I don't sleep as much. I get less done. I'm more unhappy. And when he had me do an exercise where I looked back on the times that I loved myself the most and what was going on, I made less money, but what I noticed was my schedules were cutthroat, and I just needed those bumpers on a really skinny bowling lane, so there's no room for error or anything. And what I did was I blocked my time. So my calendar, because I live and die by my Google Calendar, literally every minute of the calendar was blocked. Alex Hormozy said to do this as well. From the moment I woke up to the moment I went to bed, it even had slots for showering and eating, and then hanging out with Morgan, which was nice because then the time I spent with her was that's this
dedicated,
time. And there was no distractions. But then when I was at work, I was much, much more effective. And I haven't done that. And I'm
one of these?
Yeah, I'll have one. That one's empty. And I'm about to do that again. The reason I haven't done it this week is just because we're still kind of figuring out the schedule with the baby.
Yeah.
But now I'm finally getting into a routine where I notice if I get up around 5, I have that time. I might have to help a little bit here before I leave. But then I get into the office around 7.
Structure.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
So I'm figuring it out still.
I do that too, but I like more of a loose schedule where it's okay if you derail. And the reason is I've been trying to do that, and I've had my blocks set up like that. But for me, a big new client could reach out that's bigger than anything I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go, oh, that gets my attention.
Oh, for sure.
And I need to be allowed to do that without feeling frustrated. So now I'm just going, in the mornings, I like doing this type of stuff. When I'm here, this type of stuff. And at night, I can do this type of stuff. And I can fill in the blanks within that.
My biggest problem is just time. Because
that's all of our problems.
It's everybody's, but it's some people are much better at utilizing their time. And I'm definitely very not good at it right now.
Yeah.
Because the moments that I am motivated, it's always on a weekend or an evening or a very early morning. It's never during normal work hours where I sit down and lock in and I do that business development stuff. I get so much done in such a short amount of time. Something that I thought would take me a week,
That's fun and exciting.
I'll do in 45 minutes or an hour or 2 hours, and I go, and the whole time I'm thrilled. I'm super excited, having fun no matter how hard the challenge is. And then when I'm done, I always go, man, what if you did that every day? What if you had...
Well, okay, so you also have to realize you're going to go through these phases, whether there's day phases, week phases, month phases, year phases. You go through these little groups where you're just locked in efficient for 4-hour chunks.
Yep.
And you can't expect that is the normal all the time, because you also have to allow for the decompression moments or the weeks where you're like, I'm just burnt. It's always all bad news. I have these negative goggles on.
It's definitely seasons in
You got to
business.
let those come and go, ride those waves. That's what I've been doing. It's been working well.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's coming each day. You don't know what problems are.
I am manifesting a productive season, though. This was my last session with my coach. I talked to him about how, even though you could say I'm much busier now, we have the baby, there's a lot more to do. I said, now there's nothing to do other than work
Yeah.
and
Thrive.
Be
Thrive.
dad and husband. And yeah, and I literally used that word. I said, I'm excited and I'm thrilled because I feel like I'm going to be so productive and I'm going to thrive because there's no distractions. And for some reason, this is a very, very big problem I have. And you already know it's very challenging for me to say no to people. And I'm learning to say no a lot more.
Yep.
And
that is a tough one.
I am like through the roof excited, and I'm manifesting a very productive season of business from now till the end of the year. And I understand there will be some ebbs and flows, but I can already feel it. And I've kind of conveyed that to my team. They're all coming into the office for the first time tomorrow, and I can feel this like buzz.
Well,
and I'm really going to take advantage of it too, because I know that buzz will kind of fade if I don't. So tomorrow I have some big things planned. I understand we're not going to be super productive on day one being in the office. I know it'll be a little bit of like social hour. No one's ever even met each other in person.
Keep the energy high. Get them all bought in.
I'm keeping the energy high. I'm also introducing some actual targets. Like,
yeah, that's good.
It's not here yet, but we have this like 7-foot wide whiteboard coming in. We've all discussed. Everyone's targets are going to be on it. Like, it's going to be electric.
There's like 14 of those in this office, and I'm about to buy another one for my office.
For some reason, they help. I don't know.
They do. And being, drawing stuff out is good for you. Good for people. You need
visual cues.
We're all visual. 2026, do you realize it's going to be big? I think everything that is happening in the country right now is setting us up for something big. Also, it's the 250th anniversary of our country.
Of America.
And the World Cup is coming. There's like a lot of stuff happening. It's going to be good. I think we should wrap this up on two things. Fitness commitment.
Yeah.
I'm out of time. I kind of already started without you. I'm out of time. I want to change permanently again.
Yeah.
But for real forever. So I just did like an 80-hour fast. Got my mind sharp.
It's good.
Dropped a bunch of inflammation and weight, and I've been just on point. I have Vegas coming up, which is rough. It's going to be very hard to bounce back from. I'm going Thursday to Sunday.
Is that this coming weekend?
It's like 10, 11 days from now. Not this weekend.
Bummed.
The following. And I'm going to eat.
Hey, you have to enjoy that.
It's probably going to be, I'm going to celebrate hard. I don't usually, 40's a big one.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to have a good time.
Don't jip your 40.
I'm staying fit up until the moment I get there. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to do everything in my power on that Monday to go right back into it. But I want to just flat out put myself on blast. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the targets or the goals are going to be, but I'm going to do a DEXA scan. I want to do maybe a 1-year timeline, complete body transformation. And maybe we do like 30-day or 90-day check-ins here with some results.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly what it'll look like just yet, but I want to do that. I want to probably be like 220 at like 10%. That's my goal.
You're fucking huge at that point in a good way.
I was 240 at like 15, 16%. So had I continued dropping
close to the same amount of muscle, but less.
Yeah. Well, I've been 196 for about 5 minutes. And I was very small.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then from there up to...
That was when you had your second.
Yeah. And then from that moment, I went into heavy lifting and just putting it on.
Well, yeah, let's make some fitness commitments. I'm in. What was the other part?
End on something funny.
Oh, let's do fitness first then.
Okay, so
I think we should say our height and weight.
Yeah, I'm 5'10", 265 right now.
Damn, you're doing way better than me.
I just was.
What were you?
Right before the fast, I was 274.
Dang.
Rip.
It's not good, man.
Let it fly.
I'm 6 foot, like 305. I don't know my exact, because I've weighed myself, and every time it'll be like 290. Literally, I got one that was 299.9.
Okay, well, also are you? When I'm weighing in, I know
I haven't done a morning
empty is the only time I do it, because it's the only real. Yeah, you can get on scale.
I'm 100% 300 pounds right now, which is horrendous.
Yeah, that's bad.
And I'm right on 6.
I highly recommend the water fast.
Yeah.
The sharpness.
I did that when we were in Idaho, and I really enjoyed it.
It got me. I did that purposely knowing that I was going into an elite mastermind.
Mm-hmm.
When you're inflamed, you really don't realize it, but your brain and your brain fog and your speed of processing information is significantly diminished.
Yeah. Man, I already ate today.
I still haven't eaten. I've only been eating, like, I'll say 1.5 times a day since I stopped the fast. I was going to do a week. I did 3 full days. It was probably more than 80 hours, but the last day, I didn't put a deadline on it. I just said I'm going to do this at least 24 hours and see how I feel. And then I got to, the end of day 3. I'm like, I'm just going to keep going. I woke up 3 times in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And just felt...
You're probably hitting a wall.
Yeah, I was like, I'll just go ahead and eat. But I kept it clean. I just had, like, egg white, friggin'
That's good.
egg bites and whatever.
Well, yeah, I'm down 100%. Anytime when I look back on that point in my life too, when I was doing really well, and I felt like I was doing a lot in business too. I had a lot more business development going on. I was religious with my diet and fitness.
Yep.
And I felt really great about myself. That's when everything really started to improve. Even like my relationship with Morgan.
All of these business goals, family goals.
It's crazy how
everything
it's all driven
is better
from that.
Yeah.
It all derives from your health.
Suffering is when I said I was going to do the fast to myself, I didn't even tell anybody. It was because I wanted to suffer.
Yeah.
It's like something tangible that you're physically doing or not doing that lets you know I can do whatever I want. I can do this.
That's what I've heard. I forgot his name. The actor who played Mall Cop, Paul Blart Mall. What's it?
Yeah, 40 days or whatever.
40 days because his daughter was battling something horrific, crazy.
I think I could do it.
And he said he simply did it for the same reason, just to suffer and feel progress because his daughter was suffering with a disease, I believe, and he wanted to feel like he was in the fight too.
Yeah,
40 days.
I could do it.
Crazy.
When I did a 6-day. Mm-hmm. And I broke it that time. It wasn't like I could have kept going. I definitely felt like you are dying.
Yeah.
you literally are dying.
Yeah.
And I just felt very weak that day. And there was no real reason to keep going. I definitely could have kept going because all you need to do is go to sleep at that point. Yeah. When you feel weak and you're like, man, I'm bushwhacked.
Or grab some electrolytes.
Yeah. So when I did the 6-day, I was putting salt in my morning water, and that was it. But by the way, I'm slamming black coffees and nicotine all day.
When I did it, I had a lot of caffeine gum constantly.
It's good. I looked it up. It's good to do that.
Yeah.
You burn more fat.
I actually brought some today. I didn't think
the nicotine is not the best for it, but it's a non-negotiable for me.
I brought this in. So this one actually has more caffeine and more L-theanine than NeuroGum does, and it's a little bit cheaper.
Nice.
And I talked to someone on my staff about they did a lot of research on like L-theanine. L-theanine is the nootropic that you take to level out the jitters you get from caffeine. So that's why
it almost makes you think, what's the point of the gum then?
Well, no, it gets your jitters down, but your energy's still up. But
I get it. So I say here's what we do. I don't know when we're doing the next podcast. I think in real time.
We commit to a weekend every weekend.
So by next weekend, let's have actual fitness goals, deadlines. I'll bring another book report. I'll bring the information I got from I'll finalize the thoughts on this business stuff that I'm taking to Tom tomorrow because I'm going to have my business plan for the remainder of 2025 put together. And that's something we could focus on throughout the year. And then I could help you with yours or whatever. Excuse me. Anyway, let's wrap it. Give me something funny. You got any reels or something?
I probably got some inappropriate stuff.
We are here for laughs too.
Yeah.
It's an outlet. I got this whole thing set up. We can go over. I
sent so much stuff to the brothers.
Can we can't play it on screen yet?
Next episode, I got a bunch of videos of really fat people falling, getting hurt. That made me. I was having so much fun watching them.
Well, if they can't see him,
yeah. Oh, you know what? This is kind of
get some good audio.
Kind of inappropriate. the guy. Have you watched the video of the guy that goes into like Walmart's or department stores, finds random people, and he's like, "Hello, sir. Do you want to participate in a mind teaser?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." And he'll walk them through all these random things, so they're distracted. He'll be like, "Hold your hands up, squat."
Gets them to bend over and make sounds and walks away.
Yeah, he'll be like, "I need you to now say, but my income 10 times." So they're like, "But my income, but my income." And he's like, "Have you ever heard of Pilates?" And they're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "All right, I'm going to need you to get down on one knee." And then he goes, "Okay, actually now 2 knees." So they're like distracted. And they get on all fours. And he's like, "I'm going to need you to say, but my income backwards." So then they're on the floor. I guess we just play it. Who cares?
Yeah.
So
How long is it?
Probably like 30 seconds.
Rip it. He follows him?
Yeah.
Look at his face.
You ready for your brain teaser?
Yeah,
Get it closer to the mic.
Sentence, but my income.
but my income.
Perfect. Go and say that one more time.
But my income.
Perfect. All right, tell you what, yo. You're going to say that one more time a bit louder just to make sure it gets stuck and registered into your head.
But my income.
Perfect. I'll tell you what, man. Here's where the brain teaser / IQ test comes in. But before that, have you ever heard of Pilates, yo?
Yeah.
Awesome.
so
Well, you're going to learn
smooth
something
at
new today. Are you afraid to get on the ground or no?
No, I'll get on the ground. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead and put one knee on the ground like this, sir.
All right.
Great. And now you're going to look directly towards the camera. And what you're going to do is you're actually going to put your other knee down like this, too. All right, sir, go ahead and put your other hands down, kind of like in a little bit lower. Perfect. Put your head directly up. Perfect, yo. And what you're going to do is you're going to hold that position
Butt
and try
in the air.
to say the sentence backwards. Here we go.
Come in my butt.
He's all damn. Follows him. Oh my god.
Funny is it takes them the entire time to realize what they just did.
Oh my god.
All right, last funny one.
And then immediately gets it.
This one, for some reason, was so funny to me.
Michael.
Oh, Jimmy, you.
What the fuck? What the hell?
Michael.
What the heck is that? Oh my god.
Dude, I got bad ones. I got a guy diving headfirst into his driveway. Ugh. Do you watch that?
The
You wanna see
people,
it?
the gnarly fail stuff get Why? Why? I don't like those.
We gotta
I'll get
that
it. I'll
back
get
on.
it. I'll get it so we can get a good clean fade out.
Yeah, this was a good. You know what? I feel much better about today's episode, and I'm actually really excited for next week. So, real quick, to close.
Look at me, dude.
I think we come with.
Lost like 11 pounds.
I think we come with fitness updates.
I'm on peptides.
So, hear me out. Ready?
Yeah.
Moving forward, we're gonna come with a fitness update, whether it's goals or what you did that week. Fitness update, business update.
Yep.
And then outside of business, because that could be like what you're going through, whatever, I think there's also the coaching / business development, because I think it would be awesome if we came, and business development could be like your book report or something we learned, because that actually gets me really excited to hold myself a little more accountable.
Yep.
To come in and report on a book, a podcast. But the thing that I think we should really hold ourselves accountable to is when you do the book report or you read the book or listen to the podcast, in here, we need to actively say how we're applying it to our business.
Yeah.
So I read, whatever, Buy Back Your Time. Here's what I'm actually doing, and we're actually doing this week inside of Fifth Element or inside of King Stud.
Yeah, I like that.
Because then we can hold each other accountable, and then we'll be able to look back on all these episodes and measure. It's just another measurable thing, because no one else, we just have to. So I think we come in and talk about little stuff like hanging up 13 10-foot tall whiteboards.
Yep.
All the way to.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Here's
We can
what's
add
going on.
value to people that are at our stage or less than our stage or whatever. I mean, that's at least one idea that I liked about doing this is if I can provide any value to anybody else, I think that's a big focus on what the podcast should be about.
Yep.
I mean, there's just so much knowledge that I have that I don't even realize I have until people ask me. So if I can
Same.
start thinking about those things and sharing them.
I think we open up more too about, which I know it's a little hard because they're different, but I think we open up with segments to like give people more of an inside look on what we actually do.
Right.
Talking about the services, what we offer,
Yeah.
how the staff is set up, because it's only going to add more credibility to ourselves, and who knows, there may be someone out there that needs a little bit of that help, you know?
Yep. We should find an appropriate way to lay out exactly what we do, what the revenue is,
Yeah.
what the income is,
Yeah, appropriate.
what the profits are.
Without
Because
giving
I don't know what that looks like. But I think it will add credibility.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try something this week, Monday through
Is
Friday.
that my Ferrari?
I think I'm going to do a small journal at the end of every day so that when I come in on next week's episode, I have a little bit better clarity on what happened this week. Because I'll even report like first week in the office. I've never been in the office.
You can do
with
your
before.
gay little journal. I'll do a business log. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I agree. I like it. Fitness, business.
Fitness business in your mouth.
And we need segments for the fun stuff.
Yeah.
This whole thing's business therapy, personal therapy. To me, it's fun.
Yeah.
This is a fun hobby.
We had a lot of
this
serious
is
stuff.
the only other thing I do outside of
Literally.
the work stuff.
Same. We had a lot of fun stuff to report on, though.
Yeah.
Or serious stuff to report on.
So if you come
Baby,
across
work,
good,
all
funny
that.
stuff, we need to log that, because I think we need to do like
But my income.
at least little 10-minute segments of the Billboard top 10 reels or something of the week or something like that.
Oh, I got tons in the pipeline. I've been sending.
Who'd you vote for? I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, it'll be great. But yeah.
All right,
that
what
was
are
a
we
good
fading out
episode.
to?
I got a little something.
Papa's phone is going off,
It's gonna be a
guy.
little loud. It's gonna be a little loud.
Don't do it.
Gonna be a little loud.
Don't blow me out. Let's see.
Your phone's going off. What's going on? What's popping?
I don't know. I got a lot though.
What's popping?
Even on a Sunday. That's called being a founder. It never stops.
Thanks for watching. Depending on your platform, hit that like button, hit subscribe, hit follow.
It's gonna get better.
Promise. Subscribe to our OnlyFans feats. Just hit the freaking button. All right.
Bye
Peace.
now.